training, and I'm on a break. I've got an hour between clients, so I'm sitting under the rain shelter on the front. I thought I could go into the care home, which we will do in a minute, to go and have some lunch, but I thought that I would stop here for a minute before I do that and just chat to you guys. So it's a bit wet. And I just thought, while I've got some time, I would sit and talk about the Mandela Effect. Sit and think, what can I talk about while I'm sitting here? And I thought, I know, I'll talk about that today, because I had a dream last night, which I will talk about later when I'm doing my dream video. I'm talking more about dreams, because I've got some interpretation for the other dream that I had the other day, and this one kind of links with it. And I might tack this onto that same video, so it might be a video about dreams. And hang on one second. So I'm out. I had to abandon my last video because the rain was getting to my phone and I was worried that it was going to ruin my phone. And I went and did a job I had to do for work, and now I'm back and I found cover under the bandstand. Yeah, so I'm standing at the bandstand, taking shelter from the rain before I make my way home again, and I thought I would just stand here for a minute and talk about the Mandela Effect. What can I say? If you don't know anything about the Mandela Effect, it's a strange, quite modern phenomena that I heard about, probably, I'm not actually sure when it was after 2012. I don't think was much before that, before it was all over the internet. It takes its name obviously from Nelson Mandela, and apparently there was a lady called Fiona Broome. I don't know if she was a paranormal investigator or something to do with psychology or something like that. And she noticed that lots of people, when she was talking to them, had different memories about Nelson Mandela and his life and when he died. And lots of people seem to have remembered him dying in prison, and didn't know that he had become the Prime Minister or the President or whatever it was. They didn't know that. They thought he died in prison. Quite a few people. And then there's also many different people that remember him dying different years. So some people remember him dying one particular year, and lots of people remember him dying a different year, and it's not just a few, there's lots. I'm talking thousands. I'm just moving around, I don't want people to see me. So my experience with the Mandela Effect came before I even knew what the Mandela Effect was. But I had an experience of the Mandela Effect but at that time I didn't know what it was. And the experience was this. I'll tell you about it. This one particular day, I was standing in my kitchen washing up. And in my kitchen, by my washing up area, I had a sink. I used to keep a bottle of Febreze. And this bottle of Febreze was always there. I have cats and it can get smelly. Sometimes I would use this bottle of Febreze to freshen the place up a bit. So it was always there by my sink. And this one particular evening, I was washing up the evening meal, after the evening meal, and I just happened to look at the Febreze bottle. And as I looked at the Febreze bottle, at the very moment that I looked at it, it changed right in front of my eyes. So, I sound crazy saying it, I know, but it did. It actually did. It morphed in front of my face, is all I can say. And it went from saying Febreze, spelled Febreze, I don't know if there was an E on the end, I can't remember now. This is going back, I think it was about 2012. It was definitely 2 E's in the middle. And as I stood there looking at it, it morphed and changed to 1 E. Yeah, there must have been an E on the end, because it's Febreze now. And I stood there absolutely stunned, because it had changed in front of my eyes. I was stunned. I didn't know what to do with myself. It really was quite profound. And I picked it up and looked at it, and I just sort of stood there for about a few seconds just staring at it. And then I went into the living room where my daughter was sitting watching the television, and I said to her, something really weird has just happened. I told her what had happened. And before I told her what had happened, I said to her, how do you spell Febreze? And she spelled it the way that it was before it changed, with the 2 E's in the middle. And I said to her, you're not going to believe me, but I've just stood in it, look at it now. I said, it just changed in front of my eyes, and I held the bottle up. I held the bottle up to show her. And she was like, what do you mean? What? Why? What? And we both just sort of sat there, and she was going, it was definitely 2 E's, wasn't it? And I said, yeah, I just saw it. I just saw it was 2 E's. And it changed in front of my eyes. Anyway, we just were like scratching our heads, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but something weird has just happened. And I can feel something weird has just happened. Anyway, we forgot about it. And then I think it was either the following year or the year after, I can't remember exactly, when I heard of the Mandela Effect on the internet. And it came about, I'll go into it another time, it came about quite in a particular way that I found out about it, which is quite long-winded, so I won't talk about that now. But one of the, so I kept seeing this Mandela Effect, and I was like, what is this thing about Nelson Mandela? And I watched the video, and they mentioned the Febreze bottle, the Febreze changing. And I was like, well, I actually saw that happen. So yeah, it's real. And everybody was saying, oh, it's not real, and things that they were saying on these videos, and I watched more than what I watched loads after that, because obviously I've had that experience and I wanted to know what was going on. So I kept watching these Mandela Effect videos, and they were saying things that had happened to me, things that I had seen that were different, but then they mentioned things that I didn't know was different, but it sounded strange to me, like certain films that I had seen that would change, and I thought, no, I've seen that film, it's just not like that. And I went back and watched the films, One of them was Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams. It's so significant, isn't it? Field of Dreams. I have seen that film so many times. I love that film. I love Kevin Costner. And I've watched it, I've literally watched it so many times. Me and my daughter, the two of us, we are film buffs. And we've watched that, and I've watched it lots of times. And it used to say, the line in the film was, I've forgotten it now. If you build it, that's it. If you build it, they will come. And I remember watching this film over and over and over again. I watched it loads of times because I had a crush on Kevin Costner. So I watched it loads of times. And I remember it being, if you build it, they will come. But also, it's more than once. That line was in the film a few times. And then there was also the line, if you build it, he will come. That was in there as well, separately. And I remember the one particular one, when his daughter was sitting up on the bleachers. And she said, while she was sitting up there, if you build it, they will come. And then she fell off the bleachers. Well, it's not there anymore. That line isn't there anymore. I remember it clearly. And it's literally only said once now, and it's not even they, it's he. So it now says, if you build it, he will come, and there's only one line. That was a big effect for me. That was huge. That was a change for me. And there's been lots of others. If you research it online, you'll find others. And many Christians will say this is something to do with the devil deceiving us. I'm deceived. People keep telling me I'm deceived. Don't let the devil deceive me. And then other people, constantly saying you're misremembering. And this seems to be the line that everybody keeps telling everybody, you're misremembering. Well, how can thousands of people misremember the same things? And it's not just one thing, there's lots of things if you research it. How can all of these people misremember the same things? It doesn't make sense to me. So this is the Mandela Effect, and I'm quite highly affected, as you can tell, because I'm getting animated about it. And I get quite conflicted because I'm a Christian. And I don't like to tell Christians because they keep saying I'm deceived or I'm misremembering. I know I've got a bad memory for names, but no. I remember things. You remember things. Your memory is your memory, and you know what you know. And I know things different. So this is the Mandela Effect. The reason I'm going on about the Mandela Effect is because I had this dream last night, and I'll tell you about that later because the video is going to be too long. So I'm going to leave this one here for the moment, and I might add on some Mandela Effects. I might add this to the dream video, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's my experiences of the Mandela Effect. My first experience of the Mandela Effect. There's been lots, so I might come back to this later. If you have any experiences yourself, pop them in the comments. Please don't get confrontational, people. If you don't believe in it, and if you're a Christian and you think I'm deceived, okay, that's up to you. It's for you to say, and I pray about it. I do pray about it. I am a Christian, and I do pray about it a lot. And I have got my own things going on in that I feel like God is telling me. So please don't keep telling me I'm deceived. And if you want to pray for me, fine. I always want praying for anyway, so that's fine. You can pray for me. And if I am deceived, then your prayers will help, won't they? but this is my experience and I'm sharing it. Thank you very much. I just thought while I was walking past it that I'd take some footage of the Claremont after the fire. It looks pretty dire. This is as close to it as we can get. You can see the sky through the top of the building. It's pretty dire. It's as close as I can get. It's quite spooky really. And also if you think about the fact that there was a fire at the pier as well just recently. You can see they're doing stuff. Hang on. See they're doing stuff at the pier. The pier looks a bit of a mess. I said that the other day. Yeah, I said the other day that it's a bit of a mess. It doesn't help that there's been a fire. And sorry, it's very tragic. It's quite sad, you know, that there's been all these two fires now right opposite each other in Eastbourne, and it's such a lovely place, and it's sad really.